the Experience Pros radio show, home of the original Fan Braggin' Fridays. Take just 20 seconds to become a business revolutionary by sharing a Fan Braggin' story of great customer service by using the hashtag FanBrag or calling the Fan Braggin' hotline at 855-FAN-BRAG, FANBRAG. Now back to Angel and Eric, the Experience Pros.
Millennials, technology, entrepreneurship. Oh my.
Right. We're here to encourage entrepreneurship every single day. And I don't know if you sang along to the commercial during the commercial break, but Eric did. And he was very grateful his microphone was not on. But we want to encourage you to live your dream. And that's exactly what our next guest wants to do as well. Steve Mariotti. He's the author of An Entrepreneur's Manifesto. He left a successful business career in 1982. After he was mugged, he decided he wanted to give back to the community and help prevent society from raising future muggers. How's that for a goal in life and a mission? He became a public high school teacher in New York City's roughest neighborhood, and he discovered he could reach even his most troubled students by teaching them to run a small business. And in 1987, he founded the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship, NFTE, in order to bring entrepreneurship education to low-income youth. They've actually worked with over 600,000 young people from low-income communities in 17 U.S. states and 10 countries. He's also authored and co-authored 34 books and textbooks for young entrepreneurs. Steve Mariotti, author of An Entrepreneur's Manifesto. Welcome to Experience Pros.
I'm really happy to be here.
Steve, it's our privilege. Thanks for joining us. Let's start with this. Millennials. I could just drop the mic right there, but let me flesh it out a little bit. These guys are now choosing entrepreneurship and going into the workforce, creating their own jobs over joining large corporations. When did that shift? When did that start happening?
I think it was a little bit after the Steve Jobs phenomena, if you remember that, in the late 70s and early 80s, and the Bill Gates. We had two of the greatest minds in the world operating in the same industry at the same time, acquaintances, competitors, friends, with media equal to Beyonce times 5. And I think by the early 90s, there was a new career path that went into the subconscious mind of America, so to speak, where a heck of a lot of kids that were coming up viewed them as role models. And so I think it's been the last 15 to 22 years that we've seen a huge shift in vision and as far as young people as to how they want to spend their time, their life, and their money in the future.
Steve, do you think it's true entrepreneurship that they're after and wanting to go out and make a difference in the community and the marketplace? Or are we just kind of bucking the system because we don't want to go and just get a corporate job?
I think it's a combination of both. And I think both can be very positive. You definitely want people who are trying to solve problems, who have a vision, who are thinking about how to make money so it's sustainable, what they're doing, and then they can help their families and even help their communities more. Vast majority of philanthropy is done by successful entrepreneurs. And I also think there's something to be said for the chip on the shoulder. You read the bios of really successful people, and particularly in the field of this nebulous concept of entrepreneurship and in ownership. You have to own the profits as well. That's always tricky. But you look carefully. There's always some pain, something they had to overcome. Dyslexia, a rude teacher in second grade, a bullying. Elon Musk has written extensively about being bullied in 7th grade. And a lot of entrepreneurship comes from anger, and I don't view it in a negative way. I think it's great therapy. I think it's helped people work out their problems. And the beauty of a market economy is they have to do good to be able to continue with this therapy.
It's an interesting perspective there, Steve. I don't think I've ever heard somebody put it in that regard, that entrepreneurship is largely born out of some form of pain. Although I can't find anything to discount or argue that. Is that why at-risk youth tend to have an aptitude for and benefit from entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. And I'll give you two very important facts that I wish would go up to the top people politically, and that they would study it. And I wish think tanks would study it, and they tell me they are. But I've been doing this for 36 years, since 1981. My specialty is at-risk kids, and that introduction you gave me was just beautiful. And boy, I want to get a copy of that and also promote your show. That was the best introduction I ever had.
Thank you.
Hundreds. But two very important things that I noticed, but I wasn't able to prove because I didn't have the resources, the research team and the money and all that. But one, about 75% of African American teenagers between the ages of 11 and 19, in the year 2011, when I was focused on it, I interviewed about 400. 75% wanted to be entrepreneurs.
Wow.
Now that's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
You never know that. You never know that. Now, let me give you the frosting on the cake. People that say they want to own their own business, and they've been through a 60-hour program, which usually takes 3 or 4 months, and they read a book, and they write a business plan, open a business account, make their first sale, have their first failure, do marketing materials, get business cards, go to a meeting, and say, I'm an entrepreneur owner of David's business, and we do lawn mowing. They change their political views.
They do?
What?
It's incredible, isn't it?
Right? That was a big swing to go from, okay, we're out networking and we're passing out cards, to now we've changed our political views?
Yeah. But think of it in this term. It's more than walking down the street to sell Avon. I was Michigan's first Avon salesman in 1966. I'm real proud of it. But it's more than that.
You have a very wild past as I keep looking at it. Let me just reset. We're talking with Steve Mariotti. He's the author of the book, An Entrepreneur's Manifesto. Also runs the network for teaching entrepreneurship, bringing entrepreneurship education to low-income youth.
I'm a consultant. I founded it, but 2 years ago I became a consultant. I love the organization.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, Steve, this is not a political show, but I got it. You hooked me. You hooked me. Doggone it. And I'm going to ask, change their political views from what to what? My guess is from more liberal to more conservative.
I wouldn't use those words.
Okay.
I'd use from a more toward a libertarian conservative perspective, from a perspective of that the government is going to
subsidize it,
supply the household the money, and determine if we get in trouble, we go to a training camp for 6 months.
Right. You know what? I appreciate that.
Thank you. And that is, I'm 64, and I would love it if somebody would fund that and do it with Gallup or one of these major political measurement tools that they use. And, I bet, a third of my career that I'm right on that. Now, if I'm right, that's a game changer. That means that the political parties or the individuals who look at young African American and any minority group that's had a tough time integrating totally into the system, and it's often ghettoized and thrown into the welfare system where you get $5,000 a year after your rent expense. So you get $100 a week. And if your bank account has more than $2,000 in it, the bank is programmed to take the money out.
Steve, we got to go, but we're going to have you back. Okay, we ran out of time, brother. But Steve Mariotti, thank you for joining us. So grateful for you. Absolutely. And folks, we will be back with more positive business talk right after these messages.
America's home for positive business talk. You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio.